Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to North Wilkesboro Speedway, the All-Star Open for the Iron Thinner Racing League. Qualifying on the track right now, 2 minutes and 6 seconds left. These cars get set for the Open tonight. Following the Open, we'll have our All-Star race. Waiting on the rest of the field. Finish their lap of record. About 1 minute and 2 seconds left here. The car's starting to take the grid here. Finally. Trying to work on some camera angles, and apparently we're only going to have one angle here. Alrighty, here we go. The All-Star Open lineup starting on the pole to be Jackson Allen to his outside. 05 of Bailey Curry. Inside, run number 2, we'll find a 44 of Monin Raymond, who is outside the 2 of Alex Little. Inside, run number 3, Josh Ball in the 7. Stephen Parsons in the 93, slated to start, in the 98. Selected to start outside of row number 3. And of course, right now is a no-show on the speedway. There he goes, 98 machine. Row number 4, the 82 car. Be David Jedlicka, the Budweiser Chevrolet ZL1 Camaro, who was outside. The 96 machine. None other than Jason Rowdy Rowdabush. Matt Hendricks. Signed up back here in the 9th spot. Joey Gase in the Tiger Supply 53 machine. Started shotgun on the field is that Mountain Dew machine of Chad Nelson. He gets set here. 50 laps. The ITRL All-Star Open. Drivers tries to race their way in to the All-Star race. later on this evening. Hello? I'm broadcasting. Yeah, I was having trouble and I got in right at the last moment. 10-4, I'm coming. Green flag is fell. And the 05 of Bailey Curry. 91 Jackson Allen going to battle as Bailey Curry will go to the lead. One and two right there becomes Mon and Ramen. As joining me up in the booth. Oh, you're all right. We quickly put down 4 laps here already. Yeah, 10-4 working, work through the bugs here a little bit. Got a copy there, Sawyer? Yeah, 10-4 had to make a little switch on the microphone action there.
Everything's sorted out here. Little difficulties, but as you can see, the All-Star Open is underway. Right now, Jackson Allen, probably the favorite coming into this race. He leads Bailey Curry and Mon and Ramen. Right now, those will be the transfer spots. Ramen's got a little bit of pressure from the 7 car, newcomer Josh Ball, rookie to the league, and right behind him, NASCAR driver Stephen Parsons. He's looking to get in the mix. So his first ITRL start here tonight.
Yeah, jumping in there. Was worried about him there. He got in there at the last moment. We see Ramen there got his hands full with that 7 of Josh Ball. All look to the inside momentarily. Tell you what, this is a great racetrack to have an all-star race at. Just wish we had a little more option on the camera angle side. Right now we're down to 1 TV camera. Try to give you the best view we can.
Yeah, man, I was just thinking that the camera angles here aren't the best. But, yeah, as we get, looks like the 79 got into the 53 there a little bit, unfortunately. I'll have to monitor that couple. Like I said, we got to hang on.
As we take a look back up front, the 91 Jackson Allen starting to put a little distance between he and the 05 of Bailey Curry. Continue to mark off lap after lap. 12 on the board. 13 is time by for the 91 of Jackson Allen. P2, Bailey Curry, Martin Ramen, 3rd. 4th will be Josh Ball. Stephen Parsons, 5th. 6th will be Jason Roundabush. 7th, Alex Little, Matt Hendricks, 8th. 9th will be David Jedlicka. Joey Gase, 10th. Chad Nelson in the 11th spot. That'll round out the current drivers on the lead lap.
Yeah, as you said, got 12 cars entered here tonight. You just ran through the top 11, still lead lap cars. Maximilian Bianco, 2 laps down currently, missed the grid there. But yeah, Jackson, man, he got a decent lead, but it looks like Bailey's staying with him. He's trying. You can see the 05 car. He's searching around, trying the middle groove. He's kind of diming the corner. He's trying some different things, trying to catch that 91 car. Obviously, Jackson's coming off the big win last night in the Rush Series opener, season 4. That series got kicked off last night. The Xfinity Series, what we call the ITRL Rush Series, open setup Xfinity cars. We kicked off the season at the Indianapolis Road Course, which is a little bit of a change for us. Normally we used to kick it off at a super speedway, Daytona or Talladega, but decided to go a little bit different route and have the road course kick off the season next week. Next Monday, that series will head to Irwindale Speedway. First trip to that track for the entirety of the ITRL, but especially the Rush Series. Fun little short track out there in California. But as we tune in this battle for the lead, you can see Bailey Curry closed the gap a little bit. He's starting to kind of run down that 91 car there, Grissom.
I was watching the battle between Rahman and Ball and looked up and thought the 05 of Bailey Curry is reeling in the 91 of Allen. Meanwhile, they're starting to stack them up back there. Third on back to sixth.
Yeah,
Ball just can't quite get around that 44 Rahman.
I'm gonna say the transfer spot's pretty hot right now. Got Rahman under fire. Like I said, by Ball and Parsons and Roudabush is getting up there in the mix as well.
Have 21 laps on the board of the 50. 30 laps remain as we continue to watch this battle for that transfer spot. 98 of Stephen Parsons is putting the pressure on the 7 of Josh Ball to make a move and make it quick. And Jason Roudabush sitting there. Oh, Rahman and Ball made a little bit of contact there.
Oh, yeah, they're door-to-door trading paint there, man. They know that's the spot they got to be in if they want to race in the big show later tonight. And then you kind of see the 98 and the 96 just kind of lurking, waiting for these two guys to get together. Maybe they can capitalize on it.
Oh, a blanket over those 4 drivers right there. Everybody else. Take a look back up front as Bailey Curry is keeping that 91 in his sights, not letting him get out too far. Not much has changed in the last couple of laps, but like we said last night, those 2 drivers were 2 of the best on the Indianapolis road course, and a different change of pace opened up a season, and thought it was a pretty good track choice. Definitely exciting to watch those drivers have to battle some adversity throughout the night once they got on those long runs fighting the loose race car.
Oh yeah, as someone that was out there, man, it was tough. It was definitely a battle. That Indianapolis road course was not forgiving. It was very treacherous, flick, you name it. As you see, the 98's now trying to get for 4th on the 7. He's had a little bit too much of waiting around. He's wanting to go. He sees that transfer spot driving away, and it's like he may clear the 7 there and try to set his sights on the 4, as the 7 fights back on the outside.
Oh, unfortunate turn of events for both of those guys.
Oh man, you hate to see that, man. You really. Oh, and Jed Leaka comes in there hot, locks it down. Luckily, avoided him.
Take a quick look at that.
Go back and look at that. That was kind of a weird deal there. It's almost like 7 thought he was clear. I don't think that was intentional, but he cut down on him and definitely right reared him into the outside wall.
Yeah, Parsons got a little loose off the corner, and
all the leaders are coming up the road here, by the way. The 7's heavy damage. Obviously, the 98's heavy damage. They do have a quick fix, so they will be able to get back out there. Those two cars that were involved in that.
Take a look at them.
That'll put the 79 car, Maximilian. He'll get the lucky dog, put him back one lap down. Looks like the 61 car, Chad Nelson, elected to stay out there. Interesting strategy call, as he'll take a lead. Maybe Jed Leaka with 2 tires, maybe fuel only. He wins the race off pit road. He'll be P2 right now.
That's what I was trying to figure. Had Jedlicka on the screen as one lap. It was in the blue.
Okay.
Showed him on the lead lap. Now it'll show him down a lap.
Yeah, he did lose a lap. I don't know how that happened. Maybe since he slid right there, he got passed by the leader. Unsure of that. I know some of those guys back there, Jed Leaka, Joey Gase, Alex Little, Matt Hendricks, are kind of falling off a little bit. Probably close to going a lap down anyway. But yeah, Chad Nelson scored your leader right now. He's gonna restart on the front row here with what, about 20 laps to go.
And we just crossed to make it 20 to go, so it's got 30, 28 green flag laps on those tires, so that'll be definitely interesting. But Chad gonna take a big swing at it. You never know. Could be caution city from here on out, and Chad Nelson might be able to hold on to a transfer spot.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he kind of fallen off there, so why not, go for it and try something different. It's all-star race, no points, nothing to lose. Just go for it and try to get in the big show and go for the big trophy. 61's gonna elect the inside here.
91 of Allen to his outside, run number 2. Alex Little to the inside, Curry to the outside. Robin and Hendrick there in row 3. Restart will definitely be an interesting one here for the 61. Get that power down on the racetrack.
Definitely sleeping there. As Jackson Allen gets a good launch, he's gonna clear him easily. So is Bailey Curry going out of turn 2. They get it together. Parsons again with Joey Gase, Alex Little, big pile up there.
I was watching that 69 of Matt Hendrick. Made a big move, had a big run, jump up there into that 3rd spot.
Yeah, it looks like they just got 3 wide there, trying to avoid the slower cars, and the 98 of Parsons and Gase just tangled there. Jason Rouderbush kind of the wrong place, the wrong time, as well as Alex Little. I think Jason may have got away with it with minimal damage, but Alex Little torn up. The 79 involved as well. So that should put Jed Leaka back in the lead lap as a lucky dog there. Oh no, he got torn up
too. Yeah, looks like he catches the tail end of that incident.
Yeah, that didn't work out that well for the 61 Chad Nelson. Like I said, he had to try something, but just did not get the restart that he wanted or needed to make those old tires work. And then they made quick work of him. As you see him hit pit road. Some of the other guys a little further back stay out.
The biggest winner out of that restart going to be the Matt Hendricks ride, as he was able to get a good run off and jump up into the 3rd spot ahead of Ball and Rahman. $36 of 50 on the board, 15 to go. We'll make it 14 to go this time by. Jackson Allen leads Bailey Curry, Matt Hendricks, Josh Ball, Juan Rahman, Joey Gase, Jason Radabush, Stephen Parsons, Chad Nelson, Max Sabilla, David Jedlicka, and Alex Little round out the 12 cars. Two of Little behind the wall. Well, he is back on the speedway 3 laps down. Lights have been extinguished at the top of the iRacing.com Ford Mustang. We're going to light them up with 12 to go.
Real unfortunate there for the 98. You know, he just used quick fix and got it, torn up in that. He's still out there though. And, 53 elected to not use the quick fix and stay out with the damage. So that'll be interesting a little further back. Right now, you got the 91, the 05, 69 in those transfer spots. 7 is hungry, as well as the 44. As we go back to green here, pace car off. Green flag in the air. 91 gets a huge jump. He will clear the field by plenty of car lengths going into one. Who gets loose? You see them fighting further back to third.
Hendricks not getting that jump that he needed from the inside, but he'll go to work on the 7th of Ball.
Yeah, right now, Jackson Allen, 91 leading 05 and 7 currently in the transfer spot. 69 and Matt Hendricks right behind him. Oh, he's going to turn him. He punts the 7 out of the way. Caution comes out as we come back to 10 laps to go. Wow. That was a very aggressive move by the 69 of Matt Hendricks. And just,
The old chrome horn goes to the back end of the 7 of Josh Ball.
Yeah. He is not happy about that move. He saw the opportunity and he knocked him out of the way, and that's going to put Matt Hendricks into the transfer spot now with Monty Rahman right behind him.
Caution number 3 out on the speedway for a bump and run. Recipient Josh Ball not happy with that as he'll come down pit side. We'll have 9 laps to go. Working our 3rd caution of the evening.
Man, Chris, how about that? You know, we come to these all-star races, we know something on the line, and these drivers are showing what they're willing to do to get those spots, and tempers are flaring. They know it's go time. Like you said, we're coming back to 8 to go. Probably gonna get this restart about 6 laps left, and man, that 3rd spot, that's the money spot. If you're 4th, you might as well be last. So Matt Hendricks has shown his hands of what he's willing to do. Now, what about them other drivers behind him? Are they willing to do the same thing to him?
Definitely have to keep an eye out on it, and also these drivers that are locked in already, take a note on that outside. These guys starting on the outside there. We've seen the restart before last. Matt Hendricks started on the outside and had a good run. Now Josh Ball on this restart started on the outside and was able to get away from Matt Hendricks momentarily. Seems like right now that outside the restart zone is where you want to be to get that run off.
Yeah, and absolutely. And here we're gonna have, like I said, a short run to the finish, just a handful of laps. So that's gonna put Mon and Ramen on the outside. So unless even if we get another caution, that's gonna set up a green white checker, which we'll only have one attempt at. So these guys are gonna have to make quick work of it and settle in before the whole thing's said and done. As the looks like 91 of Jackson is gonna elect the inside for change.
It'll be interesting to see there.
Yeah, we got the 96 and the 61 right there in the 3rd row. Just waiting, hoping these guys get together and one of them can take advantage. 98 Parsons, he's right back in it, even with the torn up car. He got Ball right behind him. I'm sure he used his quick fix, got fresh tires. He's probably got the best tires of the field if he can do anything with it. But Jedlicka up there as well. So here we go. Pace car is off. Green flag back in the air. 91 huge launch once again. We got 7 in the fence back behind. No caution yet. By himself, one car. Chad Jelson goes sliding up the course. Good save by him. He's still all over the place.
Hendricks had a run on the 05, but lost the grip on it, slid up. Now he's battling with Ramen. Ramen slips up. That'll leave the door open.
44 got the wall, but he's still going to get to the outside of 69. What's he going to do? Side by side for the transfer spot, coming back to 3 to go.
Oh, look now, here comes the 96 of Roudabush laying in the wings. He gets a little loose.
They're door banging, trading paint. 69 Matt Hendricks, 44 Mon Ramen. They both know what's at stake right here. Coming to 2 to go this time by.
Battle is right there for that transfer spot. Parsons runs Roudabush all the way up the racetrack.
Monen's going to clear Matt Hendricks coming out of 4. White flag in the air.
Lap to go for the 91 of Jackson Allen. Bailey Curry in tow. Monin Ramen sits in that 3rd spot.
Carson put Jason Roudabush in the wall right there, but it looks like it's going to be Jackson Allen getting the win here in the open. Bailey Curry 2nd. Monin Ramen 3rd. He will transfer in.
Matt Hendricks gave it all he had in that last corner and not enough juice, like he was aiming for that back bumper, that 40. Not enough. Get there. We speak on the Open All-Star race. I did gather up. We did have a wheel last year. Reason it was OBS decided to take it out of their repertoire. Call it. Did find a wheel online, and we can bring that up at our intermission. Start the field. Can't remember how many rows we did last year.
We did we did 3. We did top 5, invert top 5, invert top 10, or invert the whole field of lead lap cars.
And 4, I'll make sure.
As you see, Jackson Allen burning it down, winning the All-Star Open. Have to protect that motor. He's going to have to run it here in a little bit, but let's see if we can get him up for an interview. What do you say?
10-4.
Hey, Jackson Allen, this is and Jonathan up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. You got me?
Yeah, man. Awesome performance there tonight. I'm pretty sure you led every lap. Maybe the ones you didn't. It was when Chad Nelson stayed out, but good performance. I know Bailey gave you a pretty good run there, but overall, what do you think? You got some practice up on the rest of the field going into the All-Star race.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing is I've got basically 50 laps more than anybody else when we start that 100 lapper off. Got a pretty good feel for the car. Bailey took it easy there. I think he probably could have beat me, but we're not. No sense in going up there and getting tangled up and costing both of us any chance at it. So, yeah, we got pretty good car. Had a pretty good race. That was fun. And it was a good little tune up for what we'll have coming up later when we really get to put on a show for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Ran green there the first half, and then them guys started racing pretty hard for that transfer spot and got together. And then again on the restart, a couple carnage back behind you. I'm sure you didn't get to see much of it, but hopefully, I'm sure we'll see some of that later tonight. But it's gonna be hard fight, battles for everything. No points, just all pride and a nice trophy to gain. So, what's your kind of your strategy, your outlook going in tonight, especially since you have to start in the back?
Well, I think we got a quick repair, so you can be semi-aggressive. we gotta make it up probably to top 10 before halfway. Kind of feel things out there. If we can get maybe top 5, we're doing real well. And just you got to be there at the end of this thing. If you're probably anywhere in the top 5 with 10 laps to go, you got a shot at it. So, and then there's a green white checkered, so you still got a really good chance there. We did the trucks up here, the truck series, and it put on a pretty good race. And I think somebody from outside the top 5 ended up winning it there too. So, yeah, this track puts on good shows, and I'm excited to get her done here.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you hopping up here in the booth. It looks like I got about a little 20-25 minute break before practice starts for the fourth running of the All-Star race presented by Iron Thunder Racing Network. Chris, have you got anything else for him?
Make sure I get my mic turned back on. I look forward to seeing that fast car come back up through the field there. I'm definitely going to be exciting to see you nonetheless, no matter where you start at. But, man, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Grissom. Well, it was a good time tonight. Appreciate you as always. I love hopping up here in the booth with you. Too bad it was such a short race. I wish we could do it, a little bit longer. But fortunately, I got a hop in the old 35 machine. Got Iron Thunder Racing Network on the car, and we're gonna give her a good run here tonight in the All Star race. So,
Alrighty, man. Good luck in jumping up here, and we'll be making our rounds through the pit area during practice, and probably get a word in with you before we go green here tonight. Good luck.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you. You have a good one.
Alrighty, so we have a little break here in between practice starts. Gonna work on a couple of things. For the moment. Take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, and while we um wait on practice to get underway, so we're gonna start talking to these drivers. Leave you with a little snippet of some action from our local dirt track, Fayetteville Motor Speedway. Sit back and enjoy. We'll be back momentarily for the start of practice for the All Star.
Here we go, setting them up behind the Hendrick Chrysler Jeep Pace vehicle. I got a location right there in Fayetteville, North Carolina for you. And we got a car slow on the back straightaway, so we'll woe them down just a little bit. Looking them over from high above the tower, high above the flag stand, looking for a side-by-side start. Beautiful start. Johnson will pull down to the inside and look to see what she can do. But it's Donovan Jackson. That's Action Jackson to you folks. That wasn't good. Tim White second. The B155 of Alberson runs second. Johnson fourth. Caution, turn two. .4D of Dustin Watkins bringing out the car. Caution. Spinning to avoid up there. I can see that 29, folks. Some of these other cars, they need to get some big, pretty numbers like Donovan Action Jackson up front's got on. Tim White second, Alberson third. Megan Johnson fourth. Excuse me, that is Dustin Watkins in the 3D. The 4 that brought out the caution was Dan Messner. Dixie double file restarts here at PPG Racetrack. Jackson, White, Alberson.
One to go at the flag stand.
Caution for the 33.
All right, guys, you got to keep your head. We're up against the time limit, and then we're going to start your single file if you keep on. All right, 1 to go at the flag stand, 1 to go at the flag stand. We have 2 laps in. You need to get 13 more.
2 down. 13 to go. Donovan Jackson, Tim White,
Mr. Jackson, the
and
track is yours.
Alberson. Johnson and Watkins. That would be your top 5.
Ring, 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 ring. Yellow, 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 turn 2. Yellow, turn 2. Yellow, 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 turn 2. Yellow, 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 turn 2.
And we got a mess up in turn 2. Rifle involved. Alberson, Watkins, Johnson. Show and Pro, Paint and Body, Sport Compacts, you're next.
All right, number 3, take it to the rear. Caution is on you. Up at the top of turn 1, full sheet metal, you will go to the rear. Guys, I don't know why we're all stopping. We're all under caution. Guys, if you were not involved in that, you don't need to be stopping. Let's go. You will go to the rear. All right, guys, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I need you to set a steady pace, stop gassing it up, stop going all over the place, get a single file until we get a lineup. 29 will be in front if we get him running. Then the 16. Then the B155, drop back in position. Then the 1. And 155, this is your last warning. Get into single file or I'm going to pull you to the rear. I'm not talking to you all night long. 10, drop back. You're in the wrong position. Listen to the lineup.
My light's having a little communication issues here. with their lineups.
29-16. You're in the lead. Please get up there at the top of the line. Or if you can't keep it running, we need to get you to exit the racetrack. $155, you need to move up. 155, you need to move up to the second place position right now.
Race fans, I know there's a lot of radio silence going on right now, but I don't know what to say.
Be the 16,
the instructions and the commands from the tower to the drivers is
then the 10.
pretty clear and elementary, but for some reason they're having some issues
11,
understanding.
then the 4 behind the 11, then the 12.
Issues on the 29 of Jackson as that car is stalled out.
All right, Mr. Jackson, you haven't fired in a lap. Need you to exit the racetrack. All right, lineup is correct. Second place, inside or out. Everybody alternate. We'll go green this time. Green this time.
Lined up, ready to go. Tim White in the 16 out front.
Green, 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 green.
Back on the gas. Morgan Johnson in the 1. Joe Rifle in the 10.
Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag.
Hard flip.
Red flag, red flag.
The 11. That'll be Stephen Dunn, end over end.
Red flag, red flag.
We'll need all track staff down to the corner. Red flag conditions. Is that? Driver, Stephen Dunn, big hand, ladies and gentlemen, nasty, nasty flip. Down through turns 3 and 4, but he is out of the vehicle and appears to be A-okay. Got a replay up here in the booth. Quite a nasty incident there was we had contact between the 4 and the 11. 11 of Dunn sent flipping. 7. That car went over 7 different times. Wow. But Steven is okay. Great, well-built car there on the 11. I think he's up and moving about out of the car. They'll get it hooked up, pulled away, and we'll get back to the action with our mod light. Compact suits should already be in the staging lanes. Pure stock 4s. You should get them there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for toughing it out with us this weekend. We were glad to able to fight next Friday and Saturday. Nobody turned around. Nobody's they don't care about that. Not gonna happen. Steven Dunn.
Guys, we're going green, white checker, but if you don't get it, and we had a good old caution, it'll be how the last completed lap was.
Tim White back out front. Morgan Johnson second. Joe Rifle
12.
will line up third. Lineup is correct, ladies and gentlemen. We are up against the time limit for our mod lights, so they'll get a green-white checker. Basically, the next flag out after the white will end the race, whether that's a checker or caution.
Stay in line.
White, Johnson, Rifle, your top three. Alverson around in 2. That's going to wrap up our mod lights with Tim White. Tim White, your race winner. Morgan Johnson and Joe Rifle, your top two. Well, Kip, we got us a winner coming to see you in the victory lane. To see you racing for Heroes Victory Lane, our mod lights, Tim White picking up that win.
Ladies and gentlemen, taking a look around the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Practice underway. A good old all-star race here tonight. Right now, fastest in practice is the 63 of Storm Patterson with a 17.475. Take it quick, the 6 of Kyle Weatherman, 17.585. Third quick, 17.657. Look at the Sam Green machine at 21. Ford Mustang is he ripped some laps here at Rome. Fortunately for these drivers, they have plethora of race car. Just tear them up, go back in, get a brand new one as much as they like. 32 minutes left in practice. ITRL All-Star Race coming. Got to get a word with a few drivers here momentarily. Continue to work on some stuff here behind the scenes. Leave you with sights and sounds. The beautiful historic North Wilkesboro. Storm Patterson still sits at the top of the board for your fastest here in practice. 18 cars have graced the speedway. Kyle Weatherman second, Eric Chapeau will be third fastest, Sean Bounty fourth. Fifth will be Bailey Curry, sixth Dresenant. Roger Debo seventh, eighth will be Kelvin Mosier, Matt Cherry ninth, Dave Matson 10th, Sam Green 11th, 12th will be Christopher Gale, Donald Sadusky 13th, 14th will be Patrick Langley. Oh, you're right, 15, Kloosterhoos to Brandon will be 18th, 16th, 17th will be Monin Ramen, and running out the 8th our field, 75 of Ray Weeks. Continue. If we can get a couple of drivers up in the booth, we'll be right back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Not too far away from qualifying here. Jordan Patterson still your fastest amongst the practice drivers. Back out on the speedway at PalaceTrade.com. Raise Energy 63 Ford Mustang. Making some laps around this historic speedway. We are just about under 2 minutes left in practice. Wait here, and we'll start getting everybody out for their lap of record here. Guys, for not being able to get any interview, working hard behind the scenes. Taken care of here up in the booth. Are set to roll along with our ITRL seasons. '34 Sean Downey out of Hollywood, California. That'll do it for practice. We'll switch over to qualifying. Set the field. The yearly ITRL All-Star Race. Drivers that were in the open will start the tail end of the field. Okay, we're going to bring them down and we'll spin the wheel. Start the top five. Entire field. John Bounty. Patterson quickly to the top of the board. 1 minute 28 seconds left. Eric Drapeau to the top of the board. 17-6-1-7-1. 17-6-7-1. Eric Drapeau. You're joining us. Let us know where you're joining us from, who you're pulling for tonight. Getting ready. 50 seconds left. Ready to line them up on the front stretch here. Historic. With Wilkesboro. Just our last race here. The Iron Thunder Racing League Gutter Team Truck Series. Good one. And hopefully this will play just the same. Last minute instruction going out amongst race control. "41 cars showed up to the speedway. We'll see how many take the grid. Starting on the pole, the ITRL All-Star races. Eric Drapeau, the 97. Ready, here we go. Ready to go now. On row number 1, Storm Patterson will start on the outside. Dave Matson will be inside row number 2. Who is outside Hollywood, California, driver to Transstore.com. 34, Sean Boundy. 94, Brendan Kluster, who will start inside row number 3. To the outside will be the 6 of Kyle Weatherman. Side row number 4, 36 car, Tresonot, who is outside 25, Roger Debold. 9th and 10th place starters will be the 48 of Matt Cherry and the 35 of Macomb, Mississippi, Sawyer Ott. Starting 11th and 12th on the grid tonight, the 24 of Christopher Gale, Kelvin Mosier to the outside. 13th and 14th will be Patrick Langley and Donald Sadusky. We have 100 laps. Pace car is out of here, and we're underway. The 97 of Eric Drapeau will lead them down into the first turn here. He'll have the 63 of Storm Patterson right in tow. He'll clear him, go off into turn 3 and 4. Top 4 single file. Kyle Weatherman back there in the 8th spot. Excuse me, 5th spot. He's side by side with the 94, Brandon Klusterhuis. Klusterhuis will get loose. He'll try to save it around he does save it on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll lose 3, 4, 5 spots as he'll drop back. Klusterhuis will hang on to it as Nonin Ramen looks like he'll have trouble of his own on the bottom side of the racetrack in the grass. Like now, the top few spots or top 5 has went single file. Roger Diebold in that 25 running right now in the 6th spot. 48 of Matt Cherry. 43 of Kelvin Mosier. Oh, have the 19 of Donald Sadusky working on the back deck lid of that Lowe's 48 machine. Sadusky will take a peek to the inside, try to pull along as they exit turn number 4. Side by side, almost contact on the front straightaway between Matt Cherry and the 19 of Sadusky. Sadusky will have to get down with the binders. 35 of Sawyer Ott will just about have to lock them up. Here comes the 24 of Christopher Gale. Something to miss with that machine is he is coming pit side. Oh, one car around. 21 of Sam Green. 36 of Treston Ott. Both involved in our first caution here on lap number 7 with 94 laps to go here in the Iron Thunder Racing League All-Star Race presented by the Iron Thunder Racing Network. Get a look at that. Previous unfolding right there. Out of turn number 4. Happens entering turn 3. 21 may have just got in there a little too hot. Up the racetrack he went. 36 almost had it saved. Nowhere to go for the 21 of Sam Green. Few takers on pit road. Get you that. Who those drivers were. In a moment here. Joining me up in the booth, Mike Hendricks, driver of the 69 machine.
Good to be here after that open race, which was kind of chaotic there at the end.
Yeah, man, me and Sawyer were talking, there those early restarts there put you on the outside. It seemed like the outside was where you needed to be. And unfortunately, those last couple of restarts caught you to the inside.
Yeah, I mean, the line here is really one lane off the bottom, so if that top line can really pinch down that bottom line. And I just kind of fought that at the very end, and at the very end, I just had nothing left for it, unless I wanted to do something catastrophic.
We'll get us a good look here on this restart. Hopefully, we should see the one to go this time by. Lights and extinguish the top of the iRacing.com Ford Mustang. We'll restart this one on lap 13. It'll be 88 laps to go. strung out a little bit up front and then some close racing back through the rest of the field here.
It'll be interesting to see what the different strategies we have going here, with some guys coming down and taking 4 and some guys staying out here with 10 lap tires on. So it'll be interesting to see what the fall off here is if we get a long green flag run.
Keep an eye on that as the pace car exits the speedway. It's in the hands of Drapeau. Drapeau hammer down 09 of Dave Max to that name machine. Try to cross over on to 25. Roger Diebold, and he will clear, head off into 3.
Coming out of 4 here, looks like the top 2 have broken away. It looks like the rest of the field is side by side coming down the front stretch into 1.
See that side-by-side action with the 43 of Kelvin Mosier. He'll be outside the 25 of Roger Diebold, Patrick Langley, and the 19 of Donald Sadusky. Close quarters as they exit turn number 4.
Still side by side, mainly through the field. The top 2 still broken away by about 10 car lengths. Looks like we're 3 wide in the middle of the field. It looks like we get back to 2, and it looks like that top line is still coming in here, and it's just going to be an interesting race here going through.
As we talk about that top line, big mover already. That 05 of Bailey Curry started in the back of the field. Now has worked his way up to the 9th spot.
Like the top 8 or 9 here have single filed out. Looks like a lot of guys actually running the bottom. It'll be interesting to see how the line progresses through the run here if we get a nice green flag run.
Starting to get single file now. 63 of Storm Patterson working on the inside of Patrick Langley. Bailey Curry up top. Do that. It's the 94. Woo!
Stretch.
19 of Sadusky involved. Looks like the 91 of Jackson Allen. 24, Christopher Gill. Back it up. Like maybe the 63 of Patterson get in the back of the 19 just a tad. Fortunately, these old school camera angles did try to get a different view during the break, and take a look at it here. 63, like he may just had a little run coming off, and taps in there. I'll bring out our second caution, lap 20 of 100.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here. Another split decision by the field here. About half the guys coming down pit road, half the guys staying out. I mean, it's an equal balance here between track position and fresh tires. It looks like the guys that can get out front and stay out front, they're the ones that have not taken tires yet. But in that mid-pack, that mid-scramble, it seems like you really want that fresh rubber on your car.
Like the 20 of Langley hit pit road, may have missed his stall. Currently shown in the 10th spot. Saw him now. He'll come back down pit road behind the 19 of Sadusky.
It's going to get pretty dicey here. We're only going to have about 25 laps left until the halfway break. And these guys just kind of dialing in their cars, just getting their lines all set up just for that last 50 lap run. I'd expect this one to go green here till at least the halfway break.
To get in this halfway break and roll out this wheel, if we see this thing lands on inverting the entire field, we're going to see some action like we've never seen before, and hopefully we can see it under green flag conditions. But man, when you start putting fast cars behind a bunch of slow ones, yellow flag city, what seems to happen. But hopefully we'll just have some good clean racing. See those guys try to work their way back up.
Absolutely. Going through the open there was more taking than giving. And I'll say on my part, a lot of guys were aggressive. I was one of them, just trying to make the show. But, I mean, it's the all-star race. There's no points on the line. Winner gets a trophy and bragging rights. So, I mean, these guys are just going to take, and there's going to be no give coming up here.
Interesting to see what the wheel says coming up at halfway. Either way, I believe it'll be exciting. Even if we just invert that top 5, we know we will have an invert. Don't know the size of it. It's the lights have been extinguished at the top of the iRacing.com. Ford Mustang. Dave Matson will go to the outside of Eric Japot one more time. Kelvin Mosier and Roger Diebold make up row number 2. Bailey Curry up to row 3 along with Manin Rahman on his outside.
Yeah, Manin's been a big mover. He came from the open, and he's already well into the top 10 here. The good run.
Roger Diebold. Whoa, 91 of Allen around. Turn around in front of the entire, half the entire field, and just being involved in earlier caution was that now.
It'll be interesting to see what our leaders do here. Do they come down pit road and get some fresh rubber, or are they going to keep that track position? It looks like we're going to probably restart here with maybe around 20 to go in the first half of the segment here, so it'll be interesting to see.
Taking a look at that replay, like Allen had to check up for Rahman on the top. Kyle Weatherman make contact with the rear end and send him around. Going Patterson will squeeze through with minimal damage.
I mean, good thing we're at a short track, and aero is not something you have to think about here.
The top 5 staying out 26 laps.
Yeah, I really think at this point in the race, track position is your friend over tires. I think getting that clean air and having some space around you is going to be paramount to just keeping that car clean for the first half, and then after that, we can really start to talk about racing.
Eric Japot, Dave Matson, P2. Roger Diebold sitting 3rd. 4th will be Kelvin Mosier, Bailey Curry 5th. 6th will be Sam Green, Manin Rahman 7th, 8th. Belongs to Sean Bounty. 9th, Storm Patterson, rounding out your top 10. Kevin Give Me the Cash Hatch in that 03 machine. First time we spoke about him tonight. He can continue to work his way through the field.
Yeah, Kevin's one of those sneaky guys that always just seems to be periodically making his way through the field. You know, he'll start 18th, first caution, he'll be about 15th. Then at the end of the race, he just somehow finds his way into the top 5. Just someone you never talk about, and he's always there at the end.
Most of the time, that's the strategy he plays, especially on those super speedway races. He, Matt Quick, and 87 of Rittenauer get ganged up and seem to always be right there when it counts. Is noticing that 63 of Patterson, who was dominant during practice, and he's running in that 9th spot right now. Rear end damage on that car. Luckily, we are at a short track here.
Yeah, Storm is an up-and-coming driver. He's got tons and tons of talent, but sometimes oversteps those bounds. But if he kind of reins it in and really gets that racecraft down to a science, he'll be someone to look out for this year for the championship, sir.
Most definitely indeed. Had the pleasure of sort of watching him grow on the sim, and took a year hiatus, came back, a totally different driver. Each year continues to grow little by little. Get set. Go back, green flag action. Field under command of the 97er Japot. He's in the gas, and we're back green flag racing.
As the field dives off into turn 1 and 2, looks like Roger Diebold on the inside of Dave Matson for 2nd place.
Just can't get that pull he needs. Is like the 21 of Sam Green. 05 of Bailey Curry gonna lose the handle, and around he goes.
The tempers are flaring on the radio here. These guys are not happy with each other.
34 Sean Bounty.
It's just tough on these short tracks because if there's calamity in front of you, it's like a parking lot and there's nowhere to go.
Little bit of net code, but I had to play in that one as well. Be able to catch up to the back of the pace car here. Lap 32, 33 about to go on the board, 69 to go. That's a good number there.
Absolutely. That's one of the best numbers of all time.
Right now, checking on that fastest lap of the race so far belongs to Eric Poe on lap number 2, 17.706. Is led 32. Let them all so far. No lead changes. Eric Japo, so far the class of the field. Dave Matson, 21 of Sam Green. Look to see what they can do.
Yep, Japro just had a good run going last night. Good run going tonight. I mean, it looks like fortune isn't in his favor as of right now, but like you said, with that looming invert, we have no idea what's going to happen here for the rest of the race.
I'm pulling for an entire field invert. I wish I had a way to weight it down a little bit. It'll be totally at random on the roulette wheel, so definitely going to be fun to see exactly how many we get to invert. Kind of wish we had the old cone rule like we seen at Bristol. Wish we could get that on the sim somehow, man. That would make things even more interesting.
That would be absolute chaos, in my opinion.
Starting to see that cone rule. I saw it first at Bowman Gray Stadium, and starting to see a little more of it in dirt track racing. A few series that run here locally have started using it, and man, it definitely creates a hell of a show for the fans.
Absolutely. Fortune does favor the bold when it comes to decision making like that. Especially here, if you can gain 5 or 6 spots on the bottom, get a good run into the corner, and maybe do a little slide job action, it could work out in your favor here. But it also takes 2 to tango, and someone needs to cut you a little slack, possibly.
Yep, and the deeper we get into this thing, what little bit of slack these drivers seem to give, going to get shorter and shorter. Those chrome horns are going to come out a little more often. We're getting set to go back green. Can't get over the sights around the speedway, man. It almost takes you back in time. Get set. Eric Japo got him in command, and the green flag will be out. Man, Japo's got these restarts down to a science.
Hill goes off into turns 1 and 2, so we're still side by side through the field, side by side for second place.
Dave Matson can't quite shake the 21 on the bottom, and a big run off of turn 4 is at 44 Ramen.
Down in turn 1, looks like top 2 have broken away just a tick, and then we are side by side through the rest of the field down into 3.
Watching that lane to 97, he'll run a little bit higher this time, but almost 3 different grooves almost here. Intermediate groove there in the middle is 21 of Sam Green up a little higher.
Yeah, it looks like Japo is really almost double diamond in the corner a little bit. He's really riding that first lane off the bottom. It seems to be where he's doing a lot of his damage trying to get away from this field.
Exit down backstretch here into turns 3 and 4. String out just a little bit the top 3, 4, 5 cars, single file.
Now the decision in the midfield here is with the invert, you have no idea, and we're wrecking on the out of 2 here. But what I was trying to get to was in the midfield, if you're trying to guess that invert, really trying to get to that one spot, but you don't obviously know what's going to happen. If you want to be more towards the back and hopefully get a big number, or more towards the front and get a small number, just trying to really play those games here. It'll be interesting to see.
It'll take a look at that replay. Looks like 36 of Ott just in a little too hot. washes up 24 Christopher Gale getting to the back of him. Unfortunately, it looks like if he has not taken that quick fix, he's going to need to do it now.
So it looks like we are going to get a little bit of a shootout here to the halfway break, which will be quite exciting for the front guys here.
Speaking of, Eric Drapeau, I'm showing 43 laps, 35 on the 21 machine, 44 for Dave Matson. Little different set of tires, but so far it not becoming a factor.
Yeah, I think the cautions have fallen in the right spots for these guys at the front to just equalize the tires with the guys that are charging through the field.
Only one car not on the leading lap is the 20 Patrick Langley. He is 3 laps down. $18 on the lead lap. Jackson Allen, the last car on the lead lap. He may be hoping for a entire field invert, and that might be disaster for the rest of this field to get that 91 out in clean air.
Yeah, he was the class of the field in the open race, so just be aware of him back there. He might just be laying in the weeds here, waiting to see what happens here at the front.
4-lap shootout, halfway. Eric Drapeau, Sam Green, Dave Matson, Monin Raman, Matt Cherry, your top 5. Roger Debo, Kelvin Mosier, Storm Patterson, Kevin Hash, and Brennan Kluster, who's a Wawa, Ontario driver. Careful. Green.
Drapeau with another good restart here, down in turn 1. Looks like Sam Green is going to try to force it around the outside, and he actually clears him this time.
He'll win that drag race off into turn 3. Not going away is that 97 to Drapeau. They'll be side by side down the front stretch.
Side by side throughout the field.
Drapeau credited with that one, so still holds on to the lead, but Sam Green working that thing down the backstretch.
Yeah, it looks like Drapeau hit the grass a little bit and got a little bit sideways off of 2. I think that's what made him drop back a little bit here.
See our first lead change of the night. On lap 49. 52 to go. Close to that halfway mark. White flag halfway. Poe not giving it up.
Man, if the second 50 laps is going to be just as exciting as the first, this is going to be a crazy, awesome all-star race.
See the replay there as cars are going to hit pit road, and we will get our deal up for it. Alrighty, here we go. Click to spin. You take a look on your screen. Invert top 5, whole field, top 5, top 10, whole field, top 10. Click to spin, and we are spinning. top 10 invert. Top 10. We will invert the top 10 on the speedway. Everybody is taking their break. So it'll be a top 10 invert here for the second half.
So going through here, looks like Drapeau had a dominant car right there for the first about 47 laps, and then he got snookered there at the end. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make his way back to the field starting 10th. Looks like he's starting 9th, actually. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get back to the front, not having that clean air anymore and being back in traffic.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how it all plays out. Man, I was rooting for the whole field invert, and I know a few guys back there in the back were rooting. So invert the top 10. That'll put Sawyer Ott back to the.
Yep, the top 10 will be on the pole. Sawyer Ott, second place, Kyle Weatherman, third, Chris Gale, fourth, Sean Bounty, fifth, Roger Diebold, sixth, Storm Patterson, seventh, Matt Cherry, eighth, Dave Matson, ninth, Eric Drapeau, and 10th, Sam Green.
Give them a chance to catch any damage they need to catch up. Bathroom breaks and all that goodness. As we look through the field here, starting with that 35 machine. See him on pit road carrying the Iron Thunder Racing Network colors. 6 of Kyle Weatherman. Porting the Valvoline. He'll start on the outside or wherever the opposite of Sawyer decides to go.
So, Grissom, who are you picking to win this thing for the rest of the race?
Well, see, we'll double check here and make sure. I know I have to go back to the last lap. Get the rundown situated and sorted out. Alrighty, getting her set here. Bailey Curry will lead them back to the green, and we'll follow you through that lineup as they roll off. About a minute left before we roll off here. Top 10 invert.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here. We got some new faces that are going to be in the top 5 here. So it'll be interesting to see how they play out here with track position rather than tires.
As the field starts to form, top 3 there: Curry, Ash, Gale. Wait on the pace car to come back by and
So coming back to the green here, who do you think is going to be winning this race here, Grissom?
I tell you, putting Bailey Curry up front, man, it's going to be difficult to get it for those drivers to get around him, I do believe. But I still keep my eye out on that 97 and that 21 of Sam Green. Got a little ways to go. Got green flag racing. The 05 with Bailey Curry. Big jump there on the restart. Might have caught some drivers sleeping.
Absolutely. He's pulled out to a 5 or 6 car length lead down the backstretch here as they're about 2 wide behind him, about 5 rows deep.
Kevin Hash, P2, will try to reel him in. Kevin Hash doing a good job of that early. Side-by-side action back deeper in the field. 25 of deep, 48 of Cherry.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here if these guys are pretty tame here at the beginning of this run, just trying to get to the end, or if we're going to see calamity like we saw in the first stage. As Bailey Curry gets into the wall.
Letting her all hang out. They'll give some momentum up. Go 3, eat away a little bit of it, but right now it seems like that outside lane is fairly dominant. Not many cars working the bottom side.
Yeah, it seems like the preferred groove is that one off the bottom, but actually kind of diamonding down and cutting down off the corner, which is kind of textbook here at North Wilkesboro.
Curry continues to lead. He's led a 6 of them so far. We have Kevin Hash working right behind him. Sean Bounty. See him P3 with a little bit of front end damage on that machine.
Yep, it looks like everyone kind of has migrated up to the top. The guys trying to make the bottom work, but I just fear that if you go down there long enough, you're just going to be burning up those front tires, mainly the right front.
Doing a heck of a job so far is that 25 Debo kind of holding his own a little bit there on the bottom. Can't quite seem to get around that 48 of Matt Cherry.
Yeah, he's looking for a hole up top, but I just don't think he's going to find one up there. He's just trying to make that bottom work, trying to roll the center, and it looks like he will find a hole.
We speak about the top, looking to the inside is that 34 of Sean Bounty as he'll go to work. The 03 of Kevin Hash. Now he'll go back up into tire track. Hash moving up just a little bit, a little higher than that middle groove.
Bailey Curry still leading by about 5 car lengths out front, as the rest of the field is pretty much side by side, racing throughout the whole field here.
Storm Patterson on the inside, trying to shake that 48 of Matt Cherry. Dave Matson, Tress and Ott doubled up behind him.
Now it'll be interesting to see, because these guys have only had short runs tonight, if they were kind of playing for that caution or if they were actually trying to save their stuff here for a longer run, as we have one spinning down the front stretch, excuse me.
09 gets contact from the 48 of Matt Cherry, and they'll loop it down the front straightaway. Caution number 6. I'll tell you what, it is caution 7.
I feel like Larry Mack up here in the booth. Every time I keep talking about a long run, we just keep having cautions.
We unfortunately learned cautions breed caution. Maybe some extracurriculars after the yellow flag fell. Take a look at what happened there. Trouble with the 35 of Ott, 36 of Ott as well.
So we're kind of seeing the same thing again here. Looks like the top 4 are going to stay out, and the rest of the field, most of the field, is going to be coming down pit road.
Led by the 34 of Bounty. 35 of Ott may not have had a choice. 6 of Kyle Weatherman as they angled with the 36.
And now comes that age-old question. What would you rather have at this point? Would you rather have tires or would you rather have track position?
Right now, it looks like track position's gonna be king, but bring off 35 laps. Quite a few gonna be in trouble inside that top 4.
It'll also be interesting to see what line or what restart zone Bailey Curry decides to take here, if he tries to bring him all the way through the box and try to stack up the field, or if he tries to get an early jump to get out to that lead this time.
And will he choose the upside or choose the outside or the bottom?
Looks like he's going to be staying with the bottom here.
Knowing when you're going to be able to light it up is a good advantage, even if that top side is the dominant side. Like, he will choose the outside this time.
Yep. I'm just as good of an analyst as I am as a driver.
I'll leave that 03. He'll have to do a little bit of guessing to know when that 05 decides to fire, but we've seen the 05 restart on the bottom, get a good jump off. So they'll be lagging just a bit on that 03, but if anybody can get up there and drag race them, turn number 1, that License Collision Bass Tracker machine, one that can do it. Continue to show his strength.
Absolutely, and looking 4th and 5th right now. We got we got Eric Drapeau in 4th, Jackson Allen in 5th. These two guys are going to be contenders here for the end of the race.
Green flag is out. Oh, with a good jump on that outside, he'll have the 03 cleared, and the 03 will be fighting on that bottom side.
Yeah, not the cleanest of restarts. Race control did get on the leader there for laying back from the pace car, but it seems to have worked out for him. We're 4 wide and wrecking on the front stretch.
Caution flying with 30 to go. See that?
Now, this is going to be an interesting decision by the leaders here. Obviously, you can stay out, but with 30 laps left, if you're expecting a lot of cautions, I feel like this would be a spot you want to pit.
34 tried to make a 4 wide on the front straightaway.
Now, I don't consider myself an expert by any means, but 4 wide at North Wilkesboro doesn't seem to work very often.
I feel the same way and have a little bit of juking and jiving up front.
Looks like the status quo of the night, these leaders are going to stay out. And if I know Bailey Curry, he has done a whole ARCA race on one set of tires, so I don't think he's afraid to stay out on old tires.
Let's just hope that car has a little bit more under it than what he had last night, and those totally different cars and open setup versus fixed. But late in the running yesterday, he had a little bit of trouble. Tires starting to give away toward the end of a run, but totally different track, totally different race car, still the same mindset.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this run progresses here. We're going to start with inside 25 to go. So I think at this point, all of the giving, which there has been very little of, will be over, and we will see all take from here.
That'll definitely keep the smile on the 05 machine as long as there's no taking for him. He'll pull right up on the back deck lid of the iRacing.com Ford Mustang. Make sure he stays close contact with that machine. Here's my take on how far back you are from the race pace vehicle. To me, it really don't matter because, you know, if you're that outside pole guy, you got to go wherever the leader goes, and regardless of where that pace car is, that driver's going to fire, and it's his choice to fire when he wants to fire. I understand it, but then again, I see both sides.
Yeah, it's really on the leader here, and everyone loves to play a different kind of game. For me, when I'm rarely up front, I like to kind of bring the field all the way down to a screeching halt, all the way to the end of the box, and then fire off. But some of these guys like to do it somewhere in the middle. Everyone has their own take on it, and it can change by the restart.
See the restart here. Curry in command. Hit that box. Fire. This time, the 03 of Kevin Hash had that outside, but 97 of Drapeau. Strong car on the bottom. He'll clear At his sights on the 05 in the track.
Yeah, it really seems like that bottom line works for about 1 or 2 laps, but once those tires kind of heat up, the bottom line just seems to go away and that top line seems to prevail.
Eric Drapeau quickly closing into the back deck to that 05 of Bailey Curry. He has made quick work coming from the 9th spot.
Yeah, he was picked as one to watch at the stage break here, so it'll be interesting to see if he can use this bottom line here and try to get around Bailey Curry as he hits the grass a little bit and loses a little bit of time.
Road course ringer, get them done as we got one trying to save it. Oh, I believe we got a big crash at the end of pit road.
Absolute chaos here at the front stretch. And this just plays into Bailey Curry's hand right here. He just has to hang on for 5 or 6 laps maybe. And then he's been getting caution after caution after caution.
Dave Matson was headed for sheer disaster in the end of that pit road, and like he just hammered down and turned it right. Way up the racetrack he went.
Looks like we have some more strategy here as a couple guys from the top 5 are going to come down pit road and put some tires on it. Interesting move here with how this race is played out. It seems like we're going about maybe 3 to 4, maybe 5 laps, and then we're going to have calamities. So it'll be interesting to see if Bailey Curry can hang on just long enough for another caution to come through.
And the freshest set of tires in the top 5 will be third there with Patterson. Like you said, you know, a lot of yellow flag laps on those tires of the guys in front of them, so looks a little worse on the screen than it actually is. That Bubba Board's 05 Ford Mustang has been good on the restarts. Just can't quite get away from that 97 Drapeau. I believe depending on what happens caution-wise, these drivers still duking it out when we come to the white flag.
Yeah, right now, if I put my crew chief hat on, I'm telling my driver, Bailey Curry, bud, don't worry about those tires behind you. We've had a couple heat cycles on these tires already. Everyone's equaled off already. So just race out the front and don't race out the back. But in my head, I am really stressing over the fact that everyone behind me has tires.
We can string off some green flag laps, but those laps are dwindling.
Be interesting to see if he takes the outside again. It looks like he's been getting a really good restart and fire off from that outside line.
That'll put Gale outside second row, and had a tough early going, and that top 10 invert kind of sparked his momentum a little bit, and he's been able to stay right in there inside the top 10 with the help of some guys hitting pit road. Green flag and another good restart. Now the 97 Drapeau, he'll have to contend that 24 of Gale to his outside.
Side by side for second place and fourth place as they bring it down to turn 3.
Go way up that racetrack.
Yeah, it seems like if you drive it off a little bit farther, you can get a good run off the corner without sacrificing too much through the middle.
03 of Kevin Hash.
Man, it's getting
Fresh
exciting
set.
here. It's getting exciting. You can throw the top 10, 12 cars under a blanket right now.
You'll have the freshest set of tires in that top 5. Curry with a little bit of connection issues, hoping he can stabilize it out. Bouncing off the front stretch wall. Moser's. We got a call. I believe Mosier was able to save it.
And it'll be interesting to see here. We're going to be within 10 laps left here. And this is going to be for all the marbles here.
Inside 10 to go. Bailey Curry, Christopher Gale, Tressenot, Eric Chapeau, Storm Patterson, your top 5.
Trestinot out of nowhere making his way into the top 3. I mean, you know, if these two leaders get into each other, it'll be interesting to see who capitalizes on someone's mistakes.
Gonna put Chapeau to that outside, so he's been strong out there, passed on.
If I'm in the mind of Bailey Curry right now, I'm hoping I can get far enough away to where if there's a caution that comes out, that there's only going to be a handful of laps left, and I know that I can get away on a restart.
Started to see that those newer tires moving up the field in that last restart like somebody hit a switch. This strings out all the way green to the end. Bailey Curry may be sitting in the wrong spot, those older tires. Started to notice it a little bit. Ash started making a move, and the only thing hampered him was there were cars in his groove, extreme outside or throw the bumper to him.
Well, here we go. The pay window's about to be open. We're going to have about 6 laps to go here to finish this one off.
Good restart there for Bailey and the 24 Gale. Very surprising. A good restart as he had on the bottom to kind of chew away that 97 machine. Oh, round goes the 03. iRacing not going to give him a chance.
Some breaking news from Race Control. It looks like the 05 has gotten a verbal warning for laying back on the pace car. So just be aware of that for our next restart.
Down to 4 to go, be 3 to go this time by, and
I think we go to overtime on this one.
one attempt.
Now, it was interesting to see Yale on the bottom get quite a good restart. We haven't seen that very much all night from the leader's been standing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens down in turn one if Gale can stay even with Bailey Curry down into one.
Definitely going to need a restart of his lifetime. Very well capable of getting it.
Absolutely. And a little hat tip to Jackson Allen here. He had to race his way in to this race, and he's running P6 right now. So it looks like we are going to have our green-white checker. This will be the final green-white checker we have for the night. So just be aware of that. And like we've seen for these last 50 laps, every time Bailey Curry gets a good restart, but he's on the oldest tires in the field. So it'll be interesting to see if he can just hold that lead for these 2 laps here.
It's got to be one, older tires in these restarts. Got to do a little something to those tires. I've seen that 97, kind of fell off a little bit here in the later running. He has the same amount of laps on those tires, and one good thing for Curry is he gets to choose when to lay the hammer down. See how it all unfolds. Got one more corner here, green-white checker.
This one's going to be exciting, I can guarantee it.
Off. Oh, 24 may have jumped. They had the 36 of Tresnant beating all over the back end of that machine. Curry not pulling away from that 24 like we've seen in the past.
About a half a car length here, and it looks like we got some chaos behind us, and Bailey Curry's going to win this thing. What a run by Bailey Curry to stay out for 50 laps on the same set of tires. That's just crazy.
And the caution they have saved. That would have been a good run to the finish there to see what that 24 could do if he could back into that 05 machine. That'll be definitely a question we'll ask in post-race. Looks like Bailey Curry picks up our Iron Thunder Racing League All-Star Race presented by the Iron Thunder Racing Network. P2 be Christopher Gale, P3 Treston Ott.
Eric Drapeau will bring it home P4. Storm Patterson rounding out your top 5. Kevin Hash going to finish 6th. Roger Diebold finishing 7th. Sam Green finishing 8th. Sawyer Ott finishing 9th. And rounding out the top 10 was Matt Cherry.
Watch the 05 burner down.
I mean, what a run from Bailey. He goes from the open to winning the race. That's pretty impressive.
Bring up that third place finisher, Tresnant. Joining us up in the booth, third place finisher, qualified in the 7th spot. He'll bring home a podium finish in that 36 machine. Man, congratulations on a podium run at a rough night here. Seemed like caution bug got him. You did what you needed to do, man, and avoid some calamity and bring her home P3.
Yeah, it was a rough night. I definitely could not avoid the cautions whatsoever. But thankfully, got the car fixed, stayed in the back, avoided it, and stayed out the end. Bring home a podium. Wish I could have got a little bit more, but good for the first race back in the Cup cars, and just ready for the season to start.
What do you think was the biggest key to your race tonight? Was it track position or tires?
Towards the end, really tires. I mean, I know me and the 24 had the freshest tires up in the top 5, and we really could get up there. But then again, that track position is key. Bailey having that lead and staying in that outside line. That outside line, if you got outside of it, I mean, you were done. You were going to the back. So it was really a lot of both, honestly.
Alrighty, we appreciate you joining us. Anybody you'd like to thank makes that 36 machine roll?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Sarv for putting on the ITRL again, and appreciate Bus Supply for sponsoring the car this season, and just ready to get going next week. Thank you.
Alrighty, man, we look forward to it, and hopefully have you back up here in the booth throughout the rest of the year. Good luck.
Get it.
P3 finisher. Up Christopher. In that 24 machine, Christopher Gale, man, I tell you, first part of the race seemed like you struggled a little bit maybe, and saw you coming to pit road early, right before the caution came out. You decided to stay out, and next thing I know, we get the invert, and new life was breathed into that Z01 Chevrolet Camaro, and bring her home P2, man, was looking for that thing to go to the checkered, and wonder if that chrome horn would have come out there on that last lap.
Oh man, thanks, Chris. It definitely would have come on that turns 3 and 4. He was getting the bumper.
I hope, man. Unfortunately, it seemed like cautions bred cautions tonight, and we knew we'd see it all hang out on the line because fun race, all bragging rights, no points, and no consequences, so to speak. And to be here at historic North Wilkesboro, we already knew we were going to see close racing, and able to have Matt up in here in the booth with me, and he'll get a couple questions in with you. We talked to Tresson there at the end. Seemed like those tires helped you out there at the end, or it was track position ultimate?
It was mostly tires because when I had the damage, I had 4 minutes of damage, and I pretty much followed Bundy before the stage break, like from 15th to 7th. Yeah, so I'd say tires were a big contributor to it. Restarting in the outside lane, that was a big help as well. And I just needed that white flag. That's all I needed.
Yeah, that was unfortunate to not get that attempt to even get to his bumper. But it looked like at the end there, you kind of guessed on the restart, and the last one you guessed right, but then you checked up at the very end. Do you think you could have made some more headway on the bottom if you had more time, or do you think you kind of evened out there at the end?
Yeah, I believe I could have. With the restart, I did guess right, but I feel that he would have probably slowed up, and I would have caught a black flag for it. So I slowed up a little, and then he went to the corner, and he pretty much stopped. And, I got him race dirty, and well, if it's the last lap, I would have moved him, but coming with 2 to go, I wasn't gonna wreck him for it. So I just gave it up, and then I locked my brakes up going into 3. Nearly lost second place to Tristan.
Yeah, it was a good run for you, Gale, and some silly season news. Looks like you changed teams over the offseason. So going forward here for the new season, what are your expectations with the new team?
Championship. Hopefully we can pick up some sponsors. Blank car for the All-Star race, full of sponsors next week. Hopefully we're on the front row. But yeah, championship. That's all I'm going for.
Alrighty, man. I tell you what.
Absolutely.
Going to be exciting to see, man. Cannot wait until we get the premier season rolling out, and it's going to be fun. Once we get into Daytona and get on the racetrack, man, good luck. And anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank God. I want to thank my family, and I want to thank the Accelerons. They built Darlington and they built North Wilkesboro. Great racetracks. I hope we go to Darlington next All Star race.
Alrighty, man. I tell you what, that'll be something we'll put in the commissioner's ear. I think that's a damn good choice. Good luck, bud.
All right, man. Thank you guys. You guys have a good one. Thank you.
Alrighty, steamed and sat long enough down there. Go ahead and bring up the Bubba Boards 05 machine of Bailey Curry. And I'll let you take that away.
Bailey Curry staying out for the whole second stage on one set of tires. What was your thought process on doing that lengthy gamble with guys constantly taking tires behind you?
I just knew it was a track position game. I knew that they were like, if they kept wrecking, there was no point in me pitting. You know, I was only going to come get tires if there was enough cars that crashed that I wouldn't lose too much track position to come get tires. So I just stayed out and it kept working. And then like the last few, I knew that if we would have gone the restart before the green, white, checker, green, I might have been in trouble. Because there's a couple of those guys that have made it up through there on tires, and I think they're a little bit better than me after a couple laps. But I knew on the restarts, if I could get a good jump on them, they wouldn't be able to get around me.
It sounds like the boys over at BCR headquarters are just going crazy for you. Going back to the first stage, what did you think you needed? Was it just track position, or are you just trying to make your way up through the field? Did you need more tires? Because it looks like you were kind of mingling in the back there for a while.
Yeah, it's just a lot of track position. In the open, we saw a lot longer green flag runs, and that made it a whole lot easier to pass and save your tires and kind of know where everybody was at on a long run. You can see the line move around a little bit on new tires on the short run. The middle of the top lane was just so dominant, and if you got on the bottom, you really couldn't go anywhere. Getting to the top was really risky, so I didn't really want to go that route that early on in the race and risk tearing the car up. So I kind of just rode around, bided my time, let those guys pit in front of me, let some of them guys wreck in front of me. I knew that there was going to be a halfway break. I knew there was going to be an invert, so I figured I'd just get myself close somewhere in the mix, and it all worked out.
Tell you what, man, put on a hell of a show. And winning, coming from the open, man, that was a good one to see. And thought maybe looking at that invert there, I was pulling for a whole field invert. Jackson Allen was sitting last car on the lead lap, and you know how Allen is when he gets in front of clean air. Top 10 invert, man, he still put on a hell of a show out there, those older tires. I figured, those restarts, the only thing maybe saving you a little bit was being able to control those restarts. That last restart, though, looked like Gale, I'll say he timed it right, but my eye looks like he may have jumped just a little bit.
Yeah, he did. He timed it right. I think he pedaled a little bit because he didn't want to beat me to the line, and that's kind of what got me to turn one a little faster. And then, yeah, like I said, the having the restarts, being able to get that jump out front made it a lot easier. That early green flag run right after the break, I really tried to save tires as much as I can. I was really hoping we just go green from then on out because I was to the point where I was lifting at the flag stand and just trying to save that right front. But yeah, he did. He timed that sucker just right, and I was kind of worried there for a second. I knew the top would be better once we got to turn one. I just didn't want to take a chance of us getting together, but luckily it all played out right.
And me and Matt had just talked about the restart he had on the restart before that, and fairly good, but he'd need the restart of his lifetime. And man, he got it. Maybe a little too good. Was hoping to see it go to the end, and unfortunately didn't get to get that. I think he may have. If he did get to the white flag, might have been a little bit of a move there toward the end, but nonetheless, man, you're the Iron Thunder Racing League All-Star winner, man. Congratulations coming in from the Open, like I said, and just getting us fired up to head off to Daytona. And anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go ahead and celebrate with the rest of the team?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Ho Management, everybody that helps me out. Bubba's Boards, Fort Worth Screen Printing. It's a good night tonight, and I'm ready to go celebrate with the guys.
Righty, man. We appreciate you taking your time out to join us, and look forward to having you back throughout the rest of the year. Good luck.
Yes, sir. See you next week.
Righty, that was your winner, the 05 Bailey Curry Iron Thunder Racing League All-Star Champion. He will not have to race his way in anymore there, Matt, so he'll definitely be in the next one, and can't wait to see where the next one's going to be. Trophy going to be headed out. Bailey Curry here shortly, and man, getting excited for the Premier Series. Already excited for our Rush division, and I'm ready to get to Daytona.
Absolutely. I mean, fortune favors the bold, and Bailey Curry not pitting in the whole final segment of that race, that was the key to his victory tonight. And looking forward, we got the Rush Series at Irwindale. It's a track not a lot of guys know about. Not a lot of guys have done a lot on the service with that. So it'll be interesting to see that race. And then, of course, we got our twin Daytona races next week. So it'll be interesting to see what everyone has for strategy for that one. If you want to lay back and just not hit the chaos, or if you want to be up front and be aggressive with it. Fortune favors the bold, I think, is the headline for the race tonight, though.
Most definitely could have said it better myself. And talk about Irwindale. We're going to go out there with open setup, so these guys got their hands full. Tricky place to get around. Definitely going to be interesting to see how those guys get it done, but we know cream of the crop going to always rise to the top some way, somehow, and really look forward to getting there as well. Our duel. Going to be an exciting year for the Iron Thunder Racing League. The going to set the bar. You know, last year we said it. I believe we say it every year. We're just last year was the best year, and then seemed to top it. And got some good talent coming in, and some new guys. So we look forward to seeing those. Flash that running results up on the left side of the screen. I believe we're just gonna head and close it out, man. I appreciate you being able to come up here with us, and definitely nice to have somebody up in the booth have a different perspective what's going on throughout the race, and hopefully you'll be back in the car, and don't mind having you up here. I know you definitely wanted to be behind the wheel here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Had to keep that car ready for Daytona. That's our Daytona car too, so can't get too rowdy with it. But getting back to the talent level of this league now, it has gone up exponentially these last couple of years. We have on any given night 2 to 3 to almost 5 NASCAR drivers competing in the ranks. I mean, the rookie class this year is going to be one of the tippy top classes that we've had. But just the caliber of drivers that we have in this league is second to none. I put it up against any other league out there in iRacing. If you want some intense, good, hard racing and action, maybe some tempers flaring, this is where you want to be every Monday and Tuesday night.
Definitely. We're going to try to do some driver spotlights this year. They're definitely going to be interested when we get to talk to some of those guys who are up in the NASCAR ranks, and following Bailey a little closer now that he's been in the league. You know, having the luxury, of Sawyer being there, working alongside of him to see what a lot of these guys, a lot of people that watch NASCAR really don't know what goes on, but Bailey's just not one of those suitcase drivers. Guy gets in there every week and gets his hand dirty and works on those race cars, and don't follow him. I wish I would have followed him before, but Rick Ware Racing, man, always been a fan of them ever since they unveiled that 51 Clemson 2016 National Championship car. Followed them a little bit there, and fortunately our league commissioner able to go to work for him, and now get to follow him a little bit more and learn more of the inside of that NASCAR stuff. I will always been a dedicated fan. Fell off, a little bit. Got a new claim to look out and get more excited about NASCAR. Being able to talk with Bailey and the other drivers, it's pretty neat to have that sort of inside scoop and see what happens day to day. And they do a good job of that over there. Follow them on their social media at Rick Bear Racing. Encourage you to go follow other teams as well. A lot of us just turn the TV on Sunday or Saturday and that's it. But a lot of these teams do put a lot of hard work and effort into showing you their day to day, what goes on, their day to day stuff. So check them out. And so Matt slings it with them a little bit there, and it's something I always wanted to do as a kid. I wanted to become NASCAR. I wanted to go to Universal Technical Institute up there, and I never was in my cards. But nice to see guys like Sawyer and Matt and them following their dream and living it out the way they do, man. It's pretty awesome, and glad I could be a part of a league. Guys who's out there doing it, and they could come out here on this sim and just straight get down, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't put myself in the same even hemisphere as these real drivers. I just come out here for fun and to blow off some steam. But if you guys are looking for a different aspect of the NASCAR world, give Rick Ware Racing a follow on all of the social media channels, along with Bailey Curry, Kyle Weatherman, Stephen Parsons, Joey Gase, Josh Balicki. All those guys have a different aspect. And we do have a podcast in the works with Kyle and Bailey called The Mid Pack. So just be aware of that. We might debut that here in a month or so. We're just trying to get everything together on that, kind of give NASCAR fans a real look at what it's like in that mid-pack range every single week with driver etiquette and how the races go and the racecraft that goes through with that, along with some funny topical stuff. So just be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to this season. Great group of guys. Obviously, we have a world-class broadcaster up here in the booth, which is always a good thing. So just looking forward to this season.
Yeah, man, speaking on the podcast, that ought to be tremendous because, like I always said, this league, as good as it is, we've got guys who come out that may never get their name even mentioned, but it takes those guys in the middle of the pack each week to make the Iron Thunder Racing League what it is. It's just not the talent. It's the guys who come out every week knowing they may not have that chance. The same way in the NASCAR world, they're going to go out there, they're racing knowing that their chance at winning is slim to none. They put in just as much work and effort, maybe not, if not more, than these so-called suitcase drivers who are up there running in the top 10 and challenging for wins week out. That'll definitely be cool and awesome here in a different perspective. Like in our league, it takes. It used to be the starting park guys. They kind of evolved from the starting park, but they're the guys that make NASCAR what it is, keep them afloat out. And definitely, my later years of being a fan have grown to know that respect a lot more and greater respect. So, and we look forward to it. And we're going to wrap up this long broadcast. And once again, coming in and helping out, and welcome up in the booth anytime. I want to apologize for Christopher Gale last night. I work 3 screens, normally work 4. Nobody's in the booth. I don't monitor my Discord. Christopher Gale was out of the race early and wanted to jump up in the booth. I apologize. Didn't see that message until after. But those drivers tuning in the future, if you can shoot a Facebook message, I'll definitely see that. Nonetheless, thank you once again, and thank you to the 22 folks that showed up, including myself and Matt. Man, it's we get ready to hammer down for the duels. Didn't have a chance to look at qualifying earlier, but I know qualifying was open. You have a chance to see who was on the pole so far?
When I was up there, it was Jackson Allen, so that's no shocker to me or probably anybody in the league. But qualifying is still open for another hour and a half here, so we'll see if anything's changed. One guy you always have to look at on the super speedways is Ray Ridnour. He's just got it figured out. He's got something that nobody else has. He's got that secret sauce on the super speedways.
He races. I wish I had $1 for every super speedway league that he raced in. Races. Don't get it. He don't race just here in the Iron Thunder Racing League. He is racing everywhere. He'll definitely be one to watch as always. We'll wrap it up here from North Wilkesboro. Thank you once again. Sure to tune in next week as we head to Irwindale. If we can bump up the excitement a little more we already have to start off the season. Thanks once again. Y'all keep showing up. We'll keep showing out. Good night, everybody.